Welcome to New England, one of the country's hardest places to hunt mature white-tailed deer. From the vast forests of Maine and seacoast monsters to the suburban ghosts of Massachusetts, New England is a challenge unlike any other. This year I've made it a goal of mine to harvest a deer in at least 3 of these northern states. Enjoy watching as we take on these elusive animals that captivate our every thought and leave us with this deep ingrained passion inside our blood. This is the New England Slam.
That's 180, 190 pounds right there.
I just got the biggest bucket of my life.
That is sweet. Oh, he's been rubbing.
Yeah.
Matt. Oh my god. I just killed daggers.
You want me to haul them for you?
Yee, brother.
Attaboy, get your exercise.
Okay, little update. Nothing's gone to plan again. I was gonna go to a spot, and there's 4 trucks. And then I go to another piece of public that's like overlooked, nobody hunts it. And there was dog walkers everywhere. And then I get to this spot. And then I second guess where I wanted to set up. So I locked my climber a mile in for nothing. I didn't even have time to go up in the tree. Because by the time I did, it would be dark. And I'd get like 15 minutes of light. So I'm just rattling. Basically goofing off. Because it's dumb. But what are you gonna do? tree almost just blew down, so I think we're done. I'm gonna go check a trail camera. Well, I'm gonna move it, and that's probably 10 minutes from here. And then after that, we're gonna go to another spot and just walk around with my muzzleloader in New Hampshire. And then we will go home, eat some lunch, relax, and go back out and do the same thing again. Something I've really learned this season and in the past, especially now with cell cameras, you can't use them for an be-all, end-all, because they're simply like, I haven't gotten a picture of a deer in like a week or two in this spot, so I'm pulling the camera because it's kind of a summer spot. And then I just bumped 3 does and a forkhorn. So I mean, like, there's still deer in here, they're just not coming to the scrape that I set up because the white oaks are gone. So now we're gonna pivot, go find some new funnels, and I'm just gonna move this camera to another location that I know has deer in the rut, but just something to consider. Well, I'm only gonna get there like 15 minutes before sunrise, which is not ideal, but I'm sitting almost all day, so I'm gonna sit probably till like noon and then move spots and sit there the rest of the day, so we'll see what happens. Alright, it's November 6th. I'm set up on a swamp funnel with a primary scrape area. We're gonna see if anything comes through. I'm gonna sit here for 6 hours. I just shot a booner. 170-inch booner. Just kidding, I'm just cold. This is what I'm having to go through to get back to that spot. So that's why they're back there. Should have followed my gut. I went to the other spot where the big buck was, and then I was like, ah, no, I shouldn't go here. And then I went to the other spot, and then the first spot is where the buck showed up. So, yeah, that's how my day's going.
It's always funny having interactions with like non-hunters. So I just got out of the woods in a suburban spot, and this guy that was working construction on a home was basically like, "Hey, see anything?" And he had like a thickest Boston accent. He's like, "You see anything, bud?" I was like, "No, not today." And he's like, "Dude, there was a wicked big bear down this hill, and there was some wildlife chick, and she was like checking it out, and she was just like, look for all the prints." It's so funny. He's like, "I'm down there all the time. I didn't know there was bears." And I was like, "Yep." "See any deer?" And he was like, "Yeah, over here." And I was like, "Okay, cool." It's a blow guy. I haven't seen one of those in the daytime. He's coming this way. He's coming this way. Alrighty, today is November 13th. We're set up on a food plot field. A farmer lets me hunt it. We're just gonna try to get a doe because I don't know if any bucks will come out, but we'll try. Well, at last light, I ended up seeing, let's see, 2 bucks and a couple does, but just 4 horns and a little 6-point.
I ended up missing this buck in Massachusetts with my bow, so I decided not to film and just go back to New Hampshire that night. And of course, the one time I don't bring my camera, this happens.
This is why you never give up. I went to a place this morning this afternoon that I stalked a giant buck, but he went on to private. Didn't have any luck, so I ran over to another property, and that one was with a doe. And of course, today's the day that I'm like, oh, I'm just not gonna film. I just want to enjoy my time. And then I just shot a giant, like an absolute bona fide monster. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna give him plenty of time and then go back in the morning. Getting my hopes up that he's down, because you never know what can happen with an arrow, but we'll see what happens.
He ended up only going 50 yards, so I put him in the back of the Camry and brought him to my buddy Connor's house.
His mouth is wide open. Cinematic, baby. He's wide. So I couldn't be more grateful, like, to Connor for helping me bring this out here. Yeah, this was kind of just a random buck. I think I saw him a half mile away in a field probably 2 weeks ago chasing a doe. But the cool thing about this buck is it's not one I had history with, which normally I'm trying to target like a mature buck, so I'm passing like a bunch of little ones. And ironically, this is my biggest New Hampshire buck ever, and I took it with a bow during rifle season because I took that small 9-point the other day because I hadn't seen anything mature. And then of course, once I get the bow back in my hands, I see the bigger bucks, which is just always seems to be the case. Actually, we'll probably link this with another video because I missed a really wide, skinny 10-point down in Mass, and I was kind of beating myself up about it. The lighted knock, I think it did something.
You sure about that? Sure about that?
With something. I don't know. It just, the way that it shot and flew kind of was weird. But I'm just making excuses, really. He was about to chase the doe, and when I flung the arrow, he started chasing after because they were in lockdown in the middle of a suburban neighborhood. There's a bunch of bucks chasing. For this buck, he was on unposted private land. I like to be transparent with my viewers. I'm not going to tell you if it was on posted land over a bait pile. I'll tell you. If it was over something, I'll tell you. I'm not going to fake like I'm better than someone. I'm not a better hunter. I just have more time to hunt because I'm 23 and I do the summer sales job. So I understand that this is not something that's going to happen probably ever again, to be able to harvest this many deer in a season. But honestly, just to get a buck like this, like the mass on him is super cool. He's got a lot of cool character. He's got a gouge from fighting. Chip this one. Just a really cool buck. He came in to 15 yards chasing a doe. And what was cool about it is he stopped like right where I needed him to. I didn't have much shooting lanes because there was mountain laurel and a bunch of other stuff on this oak flat, and there was a swamp below it, and he came running out of it, and there was like a forkhorn that was near it. He was a satellite buck basically trying to get to this doe, and this buck was chasing her around, and she came right under my tree stand. I could have spit on her, and then he came through, and I just put it right through him, right below the shoulder, to this, behind it, and he went 50 yards and piled up. I didn't see him because it was so thick, because that's what they tend to do obviously in the rut, is they're pushing the does next to swamps or places where they can't move. They're kind of guarding their areas just like a bass beds against a log or a rock. He's protecting his fry from all the predators so he doesn't have to cover every single angle, and that's what this buck was doing. He was trying to fend off the other ones. But I couldn't be more grateful for people supporting me and Connor for helping me out. This buck's got a really big forehead and just a unique, cool buck, and couldn't be more grateful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and maybe we'll try to film my last mass tag, or I'll be done. We'll see. But hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. We have a big cold front on Monday.
Do it.
I think it's Monday. It's going down to 20 degrees.
I was reading that whole time.
Here. Yeah, he's got a whole lot of ticks. I can feel it. Here this year that I'm not allergic to their hair as much anymore. Yeah, he's got a lot of ticks. My dad got Lyme disease, and he was out of work for 6 months.
Really? That was a few years ago, right?
It was a while ago, but he still has issues with it sometimes.
So, got this with a crossbow over a bait pile.
Yep.
From a box blind.
Basically, I ordered about, is it videoing?
Yeah.
I ordered about 8 pallets of apples. My buddy owns this really nice farm, so I had him set up my blind. Basically no scouting went involved. I don't know what topography is. I don't even know how to age in deer. I think this one's about 2.5. Yeah, I think he's got about 1-inch base, so he's pretty wide. He's probably got like a 32-inch outside spread. Yeah, I think he's about a 2-year-old. Got him with my 30-year-old bow. Reflex buckskin. Never heard of it, neither have I.
Scent lock.
Yeah, we got the scent lock. Doesn't do anything though. No. Hundreds of hours just sitting in a tree stand or a big pile. I mean, they're gonna come by eventually. They gotta eat, so.
What unit?
Unit M, right? Hollis.
Hollis.
Amherst. Bedford. All those states.
States.
Yeah, states.
And counties.
Not counties. Yeah, just
And not towns either.
Hillsboro. I think it's Hillisboro. Wicked Pizza. The size of that head is absolutely insane. He looks so cool from that angle. Look at all the bumps on his bases. That's the Clifton buck. Look at the map. Alright guys, you know the deal. Here we're at Connor's. Freaking car's coming.
Hope you guys enjoyed the film, and thank you so much for watching.